Oh,
Erica Ingalls is Jason Ingalls, I'm sure.
Yep. Okay, it's on Zoom.
You hear that, Jason? Everybody's talking about you in here.
Hi, Erica.
oh, no,
Oh, there you go. Change it.
Thank you, Erica.
oh.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. It's my
All right, is
fault.
everybody
I
ready?
used it for a meeting.
Mr. Manager.
Oh, yeah, we're good.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. It is April 16th, 5:32 p.m. in council chambers. We are here for our first public hearing for fiscal 27 municipal and wastewater budgets in council chambers. Can I get a roll call, please?
Hey, Chair Bragdon,
Present.
Councilor Danforth,
Excused.
Councilor Gould,
Here.
Councilor McClellan,
Here.
Councilor Pelletier,
Here.
Councilor Raymond,
Here.
and Councilor Runyon.
Here.
Have everyone stand and remove their caps for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. There is no adjustments to the agenda tonight unless anything's changed in the last 10 minutes.
Nope.
Perfect. There is no special presentations tonight. There will be one at our next meeting. New business, first public hearing. Can I have Councilor Runyon please read order number 76?
Yes, you can.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
It's okay. Order number 76-2026, providing for public hearing. It is ordered that the Millinocket Town Council enter into a public hearing for the discussion on the fiscal year 2027 municipal and wastewater budgets. Second.
Second by Councilor Malone. Council discussion.
Second.
We already got a second.
All right.
Okay. All right. We vote on this one, correct? Yeah, all right. After.
The special hearing. Oh, to go into the special hearing. Yes.
Hearing, so this
My
is a
bad.
vote to go into hearing.
Yeah, okay. All those in favor? It's unanimous. Thank you. Mr. Manager, confused. Before we get started, the last meeting that we had for our workshop, there was a request for information related to the capital improvement. Again, thank you to the Public Works Director for sending us an email with those photos. And I will read the letter that was provided to us. In response to Chair Bragdon's request for information, I have detailed all items below to explain the request. Truck number 10 is a 2009 Sterling L7500 six-wheel plow truck. The truck is showing heavy rust on the frame and underside of the dump body. There have been paint touch-ups over the 17 years we have owned it, but it is time to get a little bit more aggressive with the rust prevention. We have two 2006 Sterling trucks that received similar work for a few years ago, along with a rebuild of the conveyor tray. The replacement cost of a similar truck is approximately $185,000. Sandblasting and painting is part of the routine maintenance that will allow this truck to serve the town for many more years. Currently, the town owns 3 trash trailers: a 2011 Stecco, a 2012 Stecco, and a 2022 Spec Tech. The average life expectancy of these trailers, due to the corrosive nature they operate, is about 10 years. To operate the transfer station, we always need 2 trailers in rotation. The 2022 Spec Tech trailer was purchased in October of 2022 for the price of $108,000. The 2012 Stecco trailer was refurbished by Pelletier Manufacturing of Millinocket in 2023 at a cost of $37,500. This repair work was expected to add 5 years of expected life to the trailer. Currently, the 2011 trailer is parked and not in use and will not pass the state of Maine inspection. My request to refurbish the 2011 trailer will allow the town to capitalize on the initial investment and get another 5 plus years of life from this trailer. Having a third trailer in operation would also extend the life of the other 2 trailers by allowing the rotation that would give time for more complete cleaning and upkeep of trailers. A hot box paving machine is a tow-behind unit that keeps asphalt at a workable temperature for a longer period that can carry asphalt in a dump truck. This piece of equipment does not lay asphalt, rather transports it while maintaining temperature. This gives the asphalt longer working time and would allow us to do more permanent repairs of potholes than the cold patch we currently use. When we carry asphalt in a dump truck, we have about an hour before the asphalt is cold to be rolled into repair. The stump grinder request to be purchased is a piece of equipment to effectively remove the stumps left behind when rotten and dangerous trees are removed by Public Works. There are many stumps left along tree belts and roadsides now, with more rotten trees to be identified and needing removal. Stump grinding is far less intrusive than digging the stumps out with a backhoe. Many times the street and sidewalk asphalt can be damaged by digging the stumps out. The Kawasaki side-by-side at the cemetery was originally acquired by the Millinocket Police Department as a piece of federal surplus property from the Army or Air Force. Its model year is believed to be around 1997. The machine is used to carry tools and supplies around the cemetery for grass trimming and general property maintenance. This machine is also used to haul dirt to and from the burial site. This machine has had some costly breakdowns and is beginning to require constant tinkering from the Public Works mechanic. Parts availability is becoming a problem on a machine of this age, and some items have only been found as a used parts on eBay. Currently, the DEP is not requiring the town to install concrete pads for short-term waste storage. However, they are encouraging them to prevent seepage into the subsoil. Concrete pads at the transfer site would also help the town in a few other ways. Having a pad in front of the burn pile would prevent large amount of dirt from being pushed into the fire pit, along with the wood and other debris. The dirt that is pushed away must be constantly replenished to prevent ponding of water as required by the DEP. That dirt also ends up in the ash that is disposed at a current price of 87.03 cents per ton plus transportation to the landfill. This pad would cost roughly $3,500. A pad at the metal pile would prevent the same problem of pushing dirt into the materials to be recycled. We currently have a large amount of contaminated dirt below the metal pile that half fills the contaminant barriers for the scrap metal. This dirt prevents cleanup of the scrap metal area as the metal recycler will not haul dirt mixed in with scrap metal. This dirt also needs to be replenished continuously to prevent ponding or runoff of water as required by the DEP. When the contaminated materials reach a certain level, we must haul this off and dispose of it at a landfill, and the current rate is $105.63 per ton plus transportation costs. This pad for the entire scrap metal area will cost roughly $15,500. Respectfully, Brian Dupre. Anything else related to those items, Mr. Manager, that you can think of?
No, sir.
Yes.
Although I'd just add that what the three items that we did include after the feedback given by the council were the truck number 10 repair, the pool house maintenance, and the rec hut bathroom repairs.
Yes, correct. Any other counselor? Oh, yes, go ahead.
If I may just request that email.
Yes, I will forward it to you after.
Thank you.
Any other council comments related to that letter? All right. I guess we will move on. Let's get right into it. So the FY27 municipal draft. Are you bringing it up on? Oh, I'm on here. You did. So starting off, we are going to enter in with wastewater. I'm going to go page by page, starting on page 1, which is the expense report for Department 2100. More page. Good. All right.
Do you want to hit the overview?
Sure. I will go back one page to the overview. So FY27 overall increase is set to be decreased $88,806.00. Anything from anyone?
And since the last summary was reviewed and the last workshop was done on the wastewater budget, that revenue over expense line for FY27 has increased by 25,000, and that is a good thing. That has to do with the solar credits that we just finalized yesterday.
Thank you for your efforts again on that. Any questions related to the overview thus far? We are going to deep dive each section. Seeing none. All right, starting off with Department 2100 wastewater administration. As it stands right now, the major changes to this one is legal service had a decrease of negative $10,000. And the overall decrease to this department is negative $8,100. Anything from the council? Seeing none, anything from the public? If you're on Zoom, if you wouldn't mind just raising your hand, you're in a small little box in the right-hand corner, so it's very difficult to see. Perfect. All right, moving on. Department 2200 wastewater protection. Big change here is package insurance decreased negative $15,000. Overall decrease to this department is negative $1,600. Fleet insurance did increase $13,100. Any council comment?
I'd just add that we are still awaiting the updated numbers from the insurance company. And as I had mentioned to the council via email, we are seeking other quotes, and we are hopeful that we will have something better and less expensive before we commit taxes. And if that is the case, then we will, later in the summer, revisit those adoption orders to amend the budget to decrease the tax rates if we can.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. I forgot to mention that at the beginning that there were still some pending numbers coming in. Hopefully, when we do shop around for those numbers, we get anything better than what we have right now that's equivalent. Any other councilor comments? Seeing none, down to the public. Seeing none, moving on to Department 2300 wastewater fringe benefits. Major increase to this department is operator, $46,018. Overall increase to this department is $54,464.00. Any council comment?
Well, I'll mention that this is a one-off thing.
Was that on Zoom?
Okay, no. That was, this is related to the mustering out of an upcoming retirement. So that won't be a annual thing.
Awesome. Any public comment? Seeing and hearing none. Moving on, 2400 wastewater operations. Overall major changes to this department is $41,971 increase for hospital insurance, with an overall increase to this department of $45,687.00. In council comment. Seeing none, down to the public. Seeing none, moving on. 2500 wastewater pump stations. No major increase to this department or major changes to this department. If anything, there is a decrease of negative $6,744.00. Council comments. Seeing none, down to the public. Seeing none. Moving on, 2600 wastewater collection. No major changes here. There is an increase of $3,300 to this department. Council comments. Seeing none, down to the public. Seeing none, moving on. 2700 wastewater debt services. There is an overall decrease to this department of negative $1,201.00. In council comment. Seeing none, down to the public. Seeing none, moving on. Department 2800 wastewater capital improvement. Expense total
$0.
$0. No changes. Council comment. Seeing none, down to the public. Seeing none, moving on. Moving into revenues. Department 2100 wastewater administration, there is a decrease in revenues of negative $3,000. And that is all coming from the lien cost revenue. Any council comment? Seeing none, down to the public. Seeing none. Moving on. Department 2500 wastewater pump station, there is no change. Council comment? Seeing none, down to the public. Seeing none. All right, moving in. Mr. Manager, if you would like to go over this page real quick so I can answer this.
Sure. So this is the overview or summary of the overall budget we're about to go through. Um, yeah, we've talked quite a bit about this throughout the workshops. The overall expense budget for FY27 is $8,799,883. That is an increase of $587,308. The bulk of which is associated with hydrant rentals, streetlight increases. The county tax is up $105,000. Insurance is up nearly $80,000. So there are some very unfortunate things that we don't have any control over there. And then the revenues have actually increased by a little over $262,000, which means that if there were, no hydrant rentals or county tax stuff, we would be flush and not asking for more money this year for the first time in 5 years. And the overall, the total increase to the tax raise is at $324,782. That has fluctuated a couple of times recently. We started at like 315. We were up to 350, and then with the new solar credits that we completed yesterday, we're at down to 324. We have 3 more solar credits to work through tomorrow afternoon, and hopefully those will be in and updated so that we can provide that in next week's special hearing, which would adjust that value. Likely decrease it a little bit. This includes use of $575,000 of unassigned funds. We've been at 500 for a couple of years, and the reason for the increase of 75,000 is to make up for the additional legal expenses that are expected for the assessing department this season. And again, that was identified and raised in the FY26 tax commitment in preparation for that legal battle, if you want to call it that. And then anyways, yes, that is my overview.
Any questions on the overview? Seeing none, down to the public. Seeing none, all right, we'll move in department to department. Department 101, general government, there is a total increase to this department of $82,204. Major increases here is, of course, insurance, $25,858. There is a retiree for $36,721, similar to before. This is not going to be a year after year incurrence. It will be just this year, if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Manager.
The bulk of that, yes. The retiree line will disappear next year, and the bulk of that fluctuation in the insurance for this one is actually you'll see it offset in the community initiative director position. with some restructuring of personnel. Somebody with a family plan is now in this department, and the new community initiatives director budget reflects a single plan, so larger decrease on that department.
Any council comment? Yes.
Not popular, but I really think we should consider increasing the council stipend. We've changed the bylaws for it, and this is the time to consider it. Been quite a few years since it's been changed. And rather than look for any large change in it, I'd suggest maybe a couple hundred a year until we feel it's or future councils feel it's a reasonable number. I'd make that motion that we increase it by 200 for each position on the council.
Just to confirm, you said the motion is to increase by 200 per each position.
1,400 a year for this.
Is there a second? There is a second. Open for discussion. Any councilor comments on the proposed motion to increase council stipends by $200? Seeing none, down to the public. Yes. To the podium with your name and address, please. He said he wanted to motion, which there was a second, to increase all council stipends to line 101 council by $200 per council position. So that would be $1,400, you said, correct? And then
7 councilors, 200 apiece.
and then the chairperson would be 60.
Well, I think, I don't know what the chairperson's, maybe 14 or something. We're 1,200,
Right.
so it would raise us to 1,400
And it would raise the chair
by the same amount.
15. So it would raise the chairperson to 1,700, and then it would raise regular councilors to 1,400. So $200 across the board, all councilors.
That's the motion.
And there was a second. Is there any other public discussion?
I don't think it's enough.
Appreciate it. All right, seeing no other public comment. All those in favor of the proposed change to line 101 council? All those opposed? It passes. Me and Councilor Raymond were opposed. Give me just a minute to make some quick calculations for myself, please. All right, any other? Yes.
Hi, Sandra Sullivan, 104 Sunset Drive. Are we still paying 100% of the employees' health insurance?
Mr. Manager, I will defer to you.
The only employees who have ever received 100% of their health insurance coverage are the single rate union members. If they have family on the plan, it is an additional cost to the employee, and all non-union employees is an 87-13 split on that. So between the town and the employee, so 87%, 13%. So no, nobody, not everybody gets. Very
What's the
few
percentage?
people.
How many? I'm not aware of who's union and who's not, so.
There's probably 16 or 18 union members between fire department and public works that would receive 100% of a single insurance plan.
And why is that still happening? I know that I have questioned this every year for the last 5 years. And it's because of the union contracts, but who's negotiating? You can negotiate that down.
You can, but we've been in a contract since you've been bringing up, they're 3-year contracts. So we have, starting in July, we have one more year on this current union contract with both unions.
Which means there's been at least one other union contract since I've been questioning this. As far as I can see, it's unheard of for employees to get 100% insurance coverage anymore, especially with insurance going out of sight. That's our biggest increase this year. And whoever does the negotiating for the city needs to really step up and negotiate, not just rubber stamp.
Counselors have raised that.
Thank you for your feedback.
Counselors have raised that same concern. I believe it was last year. And I'm sure that will come up next year when the contracts come up for renegotiation. Of course, the council has very limited say in what we can say on personnel matters and contracts, but that statement has been made to the manager by several counselors independently.
Okay, and one other question. What's the difference between hospital insurance and accident and sickness insurance? So that's two different lines.
Mr. Manager, I'll refer to you again on that one.
So we have the health insurance, which is the hospital insurance. It's an old term used from, just lingering from past years. And then the accident system, the accident sickness insurance is the Unum plan that we offer to employees as well.
Is that like disability?
Yes,
I'm sure.
yes. I think it's, what is it, like $20,000 through the whole budget?
Is
Yes.
there a split on that?
No,
Not much money for all the employees we got.
it's about $20,000 in the entire budget.
27, or 20 up, 20 down makes a difference though. And one comment, which will make me enemies within the town. And I use the CID only because I know that that is one a department that has one person in it. And so I can look at the numbers and say that is for one person. The salary is 50,000. But after you add everything else on, it's almost $82,000. That's adding like 32,000 onto her salary. And if we're doing that with every single person, I realize Social Security, you have to add in. Workers' comp, you have to add in. But there's so many things added in on every single employee that in my opinion, it makes it outrageous what we're paying over and above salary.
So I'll respond to that. First off, I don't want you to think that you're going to make enemies of the town because everyone is entitled to their.
Oh, I'm sure everyone here loves the fact that I say cut your salaries.
I've heard a lot of people complain about the budget as a whole, and I don't think you're wrong for suggesting what you have. I will tell you that this same discussion came up, I want to say it was 3 years ago, and the big piece that I remember hearing from a counselor, because I was still technically new, was the reason we have a lot of those benefits is because it makes us competitive. So one of the big issues we had with one of our departments was we couldn't get any good qualified candidates because we weren't offering benefits to get those people in. And that still stands true today, right? If I can go work for one municipality that has really, really good benefits and the same amount of pay as another community that's very similar in size and in comparison, I'm probably going to go to the one that has better benefits. So we had that same discussion with the manager negotiation contract before Mr. Manager joined us, Mr. Jameson. And that same discussion came up with multiple different candidates that we interviewed, was that why would they come to Millinocket? And one of the biggest factors that we had to pull applicants in was the benefits that we had.
And that's exactly what I've been told every time I've questioned that. But now we were told last year that wages are now up to being competitive. And so if wages are now up to being competitive, why do we still feel that we have to pay 100% of people's insurance? I have to pay my own insurance. I'd be willing to bet that anyone other than the people that work for the town in Millnocket have to pay a portion of their insurance.
And I don't necessarily disagree with you, Ms. Sullivan, but those wage changes happened 2 years ago and last year a little bit. That would happen right in the middle of us having those contracts with the union, which we can't change right in the middle of that contract because it's legally binding.
No, I realize that, but in 5 years, there's been at least one contract. And if you go back, I've questioned this every year for 5 years.
Yep.
Thank you.
No, I completely agree, and I hope we have that discussion next year when the contracts come up. And again, several counselors have independently, including myself, had that discussion with the manager. So I am sure that the manager has that in the back of his mind for next year for July. Any other public comments?
I'll just make a point of clarity. Again, 18 employees out of 60 some odd employees, plus the additional seasonal or temporary employees or part-time employees on top of that even. 18 of those are union members who get a single plan covered at 100%. The others have split and do pay for a portion of their health insurance. The reason that it is so obvious of the additional expense in our budget is because it's broken out and shown on a 100-inch screen. If you look at any company, any business, any municipality, any nonprofit, the health, there is a health insurance cost on top of the position's salary. So this is not uncommon throughout, well, the United States. Most other countries, just cover that. But yeah, this is normal practice nationwide.
Any other public comment? Just a reminder again, if you're on Zoom, if you hit the raise hand function, we'll be able to see your hand raised. Seeing none, we will move on to Department 103. Election and registrations. There is an increase to this department of $1,160, with mostly the increase coming from $900 to the part-time. Any council discussion? Seeing none, down to the public. Seeing none. Moving on. Department 104, Town Clerk's Department. There's a total increase to this department of $17,530. A lot of small increases here, but the overall big change here is, again, hospital insurance at $8,566.00. Any councilor comments? Seeing none, down to the public. Seeing none. Moving on. Department 107, Assessing. There is an overall increase to this department of $85,463. Major increase here is Social Security and Medicaid. Is the outside services for $75,000.
And those are the legal expenses that I mentioned earlier.
Covered by
Covered by the
unassigned fund
unassigned
balance.
fund increase.
Any council comment? Seeing none, down to the public. Seeing none. Moving on, Department 108, Municipal Building.
And if I could back up for just a moment.
Yes, sir.
The $9,000 increase at the top is, as we discussed, going back to from 2 days a week to 3 days a week, identifying the increasing workload of very important projects that are long lasting.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. Any other comments to that department before we move on to 108? Seeing none, moving on to 108. Municipal Building. Total increase here is $2,140. There is a decrease to electricity, water, sewer of $2,532, but there is an increase under temperature control for 2,000, heating fuel 1,000, and cleaning supplies 1,000. Any council comment? Yes.
Is the decrease due to the increase of the air conditioner temp control, or haven't seen an electric / water / sewer bill go down? So
Is that for the
Say
solar credit?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's the
yeah,
solar credit.
yeah.
Okay,
that-
thank you.
So the 25,000 in the general fund budget that we mentioned as a decrease is split up between
So, thank you.
each account, each department.
So don't be surprised if you see it across multiple departments. Any public comment?
We'll answer that once.
Any public comment on Department 108? Seeing none. Moving on to Department 109, audit, increase of 10,000 here. Council comment.
They write a nice audit.
What was that?
They write a nice audit.
They should.
They, yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. I love the binder that it comes in. Any public comment on the audit? Seeing none, moving on, Department 111 legal expenses, there is a total decrease of 10,000 to make up for the last department. Any council comments? Seeing none, down to the public. Seeing none. Moving on, Department 112 administration, total increase to this line is $14,314.00. Major increases here is computer support, and I'm not mistaken, Mr. Manager, this is potentially for the council laptops.
Yeah, council laptops, and, yeah, the way they have their tech support, structured, there's no unlimited plan any longer, so, occasionally, so this will allow us more open use of their tech support.
Awesome. Any council discussion on Department 112? I will add, there was a very good discussion. I had time to think about it. And when the manager talked about the council, one, paper cost is ever increasing, but two, if there ever is a time that we do need to turn over the laptops for in the future or whenever. for
Investigation.
Legal investigation, it prevents us from not losing our personal devices. So, I thought about that pretty carefully. And I looked at other municipalities that use it in the state of Maine, and it is a common practice. So I did do my research on it, Mr. Manager, and I am in favor based off the comments that you made. Down to the public. Seeing none, moving on. Department 114, planning co-development. Total increase is $8,030.00. No major increase here other than to iWork online code permit system for 6,000. I will be ecstatic when the tax maps are uploaded to this. It will make things a whole lot easier across the board for citizens, the administration, and people potentially looking to do business in Millinocket.
We're getting real close.
I'm so excited. I know I talk about it a lot. Any other council comment? Yes.
Can I just ask a question?
Sure.
That online code permit, but wasn't that in the budget, but it was just somewhere else? So it's not really a new expense. It just got moved over to a different department. Am I correct?
Well, yes and yes.
Okay.
So the first few years of that were a trial thing that the council had approved payment from the ARPA funds that we had a few years ago. So yes, it is the first time we're paying the $6,000 bill out of the budget. However, yes, earlier in the workshop process, it was in a different department and we moved it to where it really should be.
Thank you.
Again, great asset. I do like to jump on there occasionally and look. I know the payment system doesn't get as used as frequently as we talked about one of the workshops, but maybe that will increase as.
It is bizarre. We see the applications and the communication, through the platform, but but people are still wanting to come in and pay in person.
But the documentation in itself is well worth.
Oh,
it.
yes, absolutely.
Any other council comments before we move down to the public? Seeing none, down to the public. Seeing none. Moving on, Department 115 Economic Development. There is a total decrease to this department of a whopping $80.
Mhm.
Any council discussion?
Just want to give kudos to Beverly McLeod for identifying the $80 savings in our Zoom account. We had been over budgeting for that. So
Good job.
thank
Yeah.
you to our fearless and
Every penny does count.
qualified treasurer, Beverly McLeod.
Any public discussion? Seeing none, moving on. Department 118 Community Initiatives Director. Total decrease to this line of negative $20,649. Major decrease to this department in hospital insurance of negative $14,006. And the Community Initiatives Director line of negative $6,100. Council discussion. Yes,
I just got one question. I've noticed it all through the budget.
100%.
On the telephone cost, there's a cost here for 24, 25, and then 26, 27, there's zero cost. Have they changed something that they're doing?
Yeah, so if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Manager, we moved this all into one line, correct?
Yes, it's now so now we receive one bill for the entire municipal operation, as it used to be split up into multiple bills for every location. And it's just all combined and in the administrative budget now.
Thank you.
Makes it easier to pay bills, right?
Yeah.
Any other council comments, questions? Motions? All right, down to the public. Seeing none, moving on. Department 201, there is no change to this. Council comment? Just a reminder, we are under a police contract with East Millinocket. Down to the public. Seeing none. Moving on. Department 203 Fire Department. There is 2 pages to this one. Overall increase to this department is $2,969. Major increases and decreases is there is negative $5,500. And the overtime line, $3,000 increase to equipment repairs. And that's it. Total increase again is increase of $2,969.00. Councilor comments. Seeing none, down to the public. Seeing none. Moving on, Department 204 Ambulance. Excuse me again. There is several major changes to this department. There is an overall increase of $7,620. There is a decrease to per diem of negative 5,000, a decrease to overtime of negative 10,000, an increase to equipment contracts for $17,006. That's the major changes. Council comments. Seeing none, down to the public. Seeing none. Moving on, Department 205, Fire and Ambulance General. There is 2 pages to this one again. There is an increase of $32,449 to this department. Major changes to this department is $5,024 to the EMT lines, 372, 3,000 increase to overtime, 3,000 increase to uniforms, 3,012 increase to hospital insurance, $2,764 to main PERS, 5,000 to building maintenance, we're increasing, 2,500 to Emergency Management Authority. And those are the big ones. Councilor comments. Yes.
We talked about the last workshop on overtime. And I see that it dropped 5,500 on Department 203. and 10,000 in Department 204. But we have a $3,000 increase in 205.
Mr. Manager?
Yeah, so there's a difference in who is paid from what line and what department, um, depending on their role. So uh, the full-time staff, and their overtime comes from one department. The others, would be, more for the, paid call department or the, um, backup drivers, that sort of thing. So there are a couple of places where we do not need as much overtime because of the staffing level. And then we also, we've had several on our volunteer department um, get done. So we'll have to be bringing in more. So, you'll see some of that overtime and training and um, uniform cost associated there. Does that answer your question?
That's $188,000 of overtime.
Yeah, which is less than, significantly less than it has been in recent years. Yeah. Would you like a more expansive response?
Yeah,
I could.
Again, I know that was going to be a point that would make me popular. So
What? Yeah.
Looking for-
Well, so within that department, you know, there's a minimum overtime, of a 4 hour, if you're called in for overtime, it's 4 hour minimum, for both unions. And then, oftentimes, that department is prone to, um, injury. So, it's not uncommon for somebody to be out long-term, and then people who, cover shifts or come in, as backup, that time is paid for out of the overtime line. So, yeah.
thank you.
I have questions, but I will defer to Ms. Warren.
Okay, thank you, Chairman Bragdon. I saw that this week that Matt Harrington got promoted to second assistant fire chief.
Mhm.
Could the chief explain to me where the first assistant went, or would he be the first, or?
The chief's the first problem.
So I can answer that. We had an assistant chief position temporarily as Chief Cody joined the team and trained under retired Chief Malcolm for a time. But that is not a permanent position. The second assistant chief is a position outlined in the union contract, which gives a number of additional duties to that person in the absence of the chief themselves.
So it's just named after what the union calls it.
Correct.
Any other questions? Okay. I have questions related to what Councilor Gould had to say. Where are we with staffing both departments?
Both departments, fire and public works, or just the fire department?
Fire department, fire and EMS.
I think we're at full complement. Do we have an open position? We have one open position in the fire department right now.
Assuming there was another position added, hypothetical, how much would that impact the overtime lines?
Well, it would kind of be a give and take, like we are aware that, two of our current staff will be out for extended periods of time in the next couple of months. Yeah, I think it would increase the normal salary time, but
Would it offset the overtime line more than
mm,
what it would be worth to create a new position?
no, I
Okay.
can say that confidently.
Okay. That's all I needed. Any other council comments? Yes.
My question moving forward so that we can avoid overtime and actually have coverage is that if we brought the whole community in, kind of like with the police force at this point in time, could we borrow employees from East Millinocket,
No.
Medway? No.
No, so we asked that in the EMS meeting. And because of how the law is structured for the state of Maine, they would have to be under our payroll and we're union. East Millinocket is not. So there's a bunch of different factors that play into it because of how the law is structured in Maine. We cannot do that without them being either on our payroll or and vice versa. They'd have to be on both. And it's, what was that?
The ambulance service.
Yes.
Okay.
And then there's, the example of, just this afternoon, fire department had 3 calls come in at the same time. There's 2 staff on duty at all times, plus the chief. So there has to be at least 2 at every call or scene. So, they had to call several people in an emergency to get them to come in and cover and back up and grab the, additional apparatus and bring it to the, location, that sort of thing. So it's really, you can't really predict how many people you're gonna need at any given time. You could staff the minimum, but at any point throughout the day, you might need 2 to 10 extra people. And you can't predict that.
Depends on if it's a woman or not.
I can't appreciate our first responders enough. I've just spent a quarter of a century in management. Overtime has always just been a,
Yeah.
so.
I feel
just
that
had
one.
to ask, so.
I will add though, plugging in the EMS meeting. If we did go end up to a fire district or some kind of unit, force that included the 3 towns or even just Millinocket and East Millinocket, because it's kind of direction it's going right now is just the 2 towns. We would be able to do that because it would be a fire district and or however layout we had, we would be able to put so many people in Millinocket, so many people in East Millinocket. That could happen if we did something together. Right now we can't because of how it's laid out. So that discussion has come up multiple times. However, I will say that Chief McAdam and Chief Cody have done fantastic job with mutual aid agreements. They back each other up all the time. So I have full confidence that if we do move forward with this, that problem may be resolved if we do end up doing something together, which again, based on the conversations we're having, I'm very hopeful. So,
Chief, is there, oh, I was just gonna ask if there was anything I'm misrepresenting or anything additional you really should add.
They're just to share kind of what the manager mentioned earlier today. We had 3 calls coming at the same time. So East Millinocket came up to back us up on one of those calls, but it happened to be one of my providers had to hop in that ambulance to go with them because they needed an advanced provider. So which brought me back to the fire station here. To cover fire calls, ambulance calls until we had another ambulance in service. So we had 3 calls come in just all at the same time. Yesterday, we seen roughly 9 calls come in, and today crews are at 8 calls. So it's been a busy couple days. I'm sure we'll hit at least the 30 call mark this week. So we're seeing an increase of calls every day. We're seeing anywhere 3 to 4 calls a day at least coming in, if not more. Just the last 2 days, we've seen an increase. This is kind of like the mud season, we call it. So at the fire station, because most of the outside UT area is closed right now, but we're going to even see more calls once that's fully operational. So as the manager mentioned, a 4-hour call in for each one coming in. So today we had 3 people come in off duty. So there's a total of 12 hours right there overtime.
Thank you for clarifying.
any other council comments? Thank you again, Chief Cody.
I just wanted to mention one thing because you guys were talking here about phones. We do have that phone line item in ours, but that's for our internet and cell phones for the emergency vehicles. For the GPS tracking and also for the Wi-Fi, we need them when we're out.
Thank you for calling that out.
Yeah.
Any other councilor comments before I go down to the public?
Thank you, Chief.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you again. Down to the public, any public discussion on Department 203? Seeing none. Department 204, oh,
We'll sit.
206, sorry, we went backwards.
Yeah.
206, no, it was good questions. Department 206, Community Service. There is an increase to this line of $117,091. Major increases here, of course,
Heartburn.
our wonderful hydrant rentals at $90,715 and streetlights at $26,196. Counselor discussion.
This is just a portion of the increase of the new rates. It is pretty well guaranteed that we're looking at a nearly $400,000 increase from FY27 to FY28 before we even talk about any other lines in that budget in the future.
Yes.
On the streetlights, I see the increase of 26,000. Kind of ironic that they changed them all years ago with the LEDs to be cheaper operating, so now we're paying more. Is that just the rental cost?
Yeah, it's not necessarily a rental, but yeah, that's they dictate the
Phone pole run.
cost of operating those, and so currently those types of accounts like the streetlights are not eligible for the solar credits that we just lined up for everything else, but that company tells us that it's in the works, and though new customers wouldn't be able to get that account, we would be grandfathered in. So, if it happens in 3 months or 6 months or 8 months, our streetlight account would then be included in the solar credit, and have a reduction in cost. But this is the only electricity bill that didn't see a decrease.
Any other councilor comments?
It just happens to be roughly the same amount as the credit that we came up with yesterday.
Except $1,196. Any other councilor comments? Seeing none, down to the public. Seeing none. Moving on, insurance, 209, increase of $71,657. Property insurance, $30,069. Fleet insurance, $19,166. Public officials, $2,876. And employment practices liability is $13,974. All of those were increases. Total increase again is $71,657.00. Councilor comments. Down to the public. Yes.
Sandy Sullivan, 104 Sunset. What is employment practices?
Mr. Manager.
Madam Treasurer? I don't know the answer. I actually have to research it. I have to get back to you. I can't think of it off the top of my head.
I feel like we were asked that last year. But I have an email on this somewhere. I'll bring it up at the beginning of the very next meeting. To get you an answer, but I think I know what it is, but I don't want to misspeak and tell you. I don't want to misspeak because it's not something that I look at every single day, but I will get you an answer, I promise.
Yeah, it is in the slew of insurance coverages that are offered through that we receive through Trident or FAP body. Uh, it's just the, the way things are labeled in these uh line names from past years. I'd have to just confirm which line that actually is, but that number came from one of the quotes that we got recently from that slew of insurance coverage. But we can certainly confirm that for next Thursday's second special hearing.
Any other council comments? Anyone else from the public? Seeing none. 213 enforcement official. No major increases here. Total increase to this department is $1,238. Council discussion. Seeing none, down to the public. Seeing none. Department 214 dog constable. Total increase to this department is $4,294.00. Council discussion. Yes.
I have a question. I guess I just didn't pick up on this the last time, but I remember last year we gave a significant rate. Yeah, so I'm just questioning why, or was it not reflected why that salary is up $4,842?
Actually down $98. That's that because of the thing from the year before.
Yeah,
This one department has to be run a different way. 'Cause we
Okay.
had a transfer in last year.
okay.
It was
Yeah, yeah,
changed during the process.
during the
and it- yeah.
process. Okay, yeah,
So
Thank
that
you.
really is not up for that.
right. I was like, okay, thank you.
Good question. Thank you. Any public discussion? Seeing none. Department 300 fringe benefits, it's down at negative $10,586. There is a total decrease of $11,000 to the accident. Oh, I'm sorry, earned time accrual line. And a decrease of negative $2,907 to Social Security and Medicare taxes. Council discussion. Seeing none, down in public. Seeing none, moving on, Department 402, Public Works Administration. There is a total increase to this budget of $5,117.00. Public, council discussion. Seeing none, down in public. Moving on. Department 403, Garage Maintenance, there is no change. Council discussion. Down in public. Seeing none. Department 407, there is 2 pages to this one as well. There's a total increase of $10,965.00. Hospital insurance increase $17,954. Full-time payroll, $10,651 increase. There's a decrease of negative 15,000 to gas. Negative 5,000 to winter sand. Negative 5,000 to salt. And $4,596 increase to workman's compensation. And those are the big ones. So again, total increase $10,965. Council discussion. Seeing none, down to the public. Seeing none. Moving on, 409 transfer site. There is 2 pages to this one as well. Total increase to this department is $3,282.00. Some major changes, negative $8,694 to electricity, water and sewer. Negative 5,000 to equipment repairs and replacements. $5,060 increase to build to landfill costs. $5,000 increase to tire disposal. $1,000 increase to white goods and Freon. And that's it. So again, increase $3,282.00. Council discussion. Seeing none, done with public. You want to, feel free. You're asking wonderful questions. You're informing me of things that I don't know either, so please feel free to come on.
I'm just in my own house. Am I looking at this right? Electricity, water and sewer is going down?
Yes, again, that's related to the solar credits that the manager negotiated with that.
Okay.
Yep.
I was going down.
Yeah. So,
You should sign up for the solar credits.
I don't know if you're here for the last meeting or if you heard it, but Mr. Malcolm had brought it up. There's a company going around, or two or three of them, Nex, Amp, and Perch, and they're doing solar tax credits. So the manager met with them. And he has 2 or 3 more meetings tomorrow with them to get even more tax credits that will reflect hopefully next Thursday that you will see. So as of right now, we've gotten a $25,000 in solar tax credits for the town and 25,000 for wastewater. And we have potentially more as of tomorrow. So you'll see potentially even more money next week on the decrease.
I'll give you the contact information. I'm sure he'd love to sign you up.
They are fantastic. I talked about it at the beginning of the meeting, but they are going around. They will be knocking on everybody's door. Oh, 100%. I will tell you that about
Maybe you'll
for,
get lucky because he's bringing us donuts once a week now. Oh, and he's gonna
Oh,
bring
pizzas?
pizza next time.
okay. I'm not gonna ask from where, but all right. Any other public discussion? That question came up again, by the way, Councilor Gould. Moving on, Department 501 Library increase of 25,000. Just a reminder, this is part of a contract that we had with the library. Again, Mr. Manager, that's up. This is the last increase. There will be at some point a meeting with
Negotiate.
them.
This is the last year. of con-
Right, so we will need, this is the last increase in overall of the contract.
Yeah,
we
by the
will-
time we're working on the FY28 budget, that will need to be revisited.
I won't be surprised if we start meeting early like we did the last time this came up. So, council discussion. Seeing none, done to the public. Seeing none, moving on. Department 700 debt and interest, total increase of $109,872. Decreases to this department are $2,348 for 731. Negative $12,595 to the ambulance power cot lease, 734. A bunch of smaller decreases and increases that kind of level out. And then there is a major increase to 739 street sweeper for 46,161. $11,164 for this street sweeper again, but Department 740. 741 Western Star, $57,488.24. And that line again, $8,849.76. Total increase again is $109,872. I'm starting to go cross-eyed. Council discussion. Yes.
Something for Brian, on the western side, is that the new truck? And they get it fixed, so pumping issues and stuff.
Oh, so the one I saw the other day wasn't the new one?
The new one is blue.
Yeah, then I wasn't the one that I saw. I haven't seen it yet. I can't wait to see
No,
it.
that's one that's not doing too good out there.
No, not really. That's why I was gonna ask. Yeah. Any councilor discussion? Seeing none, down to the public.
Actually just can't wait to see that new street sweeper
Me
out there
either.
for the first time, really cleaning instead of leaving a trail
Go right
Yeah.
down the street.
behind it.
I know a couple of roads that could use it.
Yeah.
From a street sweeper to a street spreader.
Yeah,
That's more like it.
What year is that other machine?
the old street sweeper. I don't know, 1980 something? No, I'm kidding. Do you remember? 2000,
Oh,
26 years old.
Wow.
love to hear it.
Well, it did well for those years, but not lately.
Yeah, not for the past few.
Yeah. Any other public discussion? Seeing none. Department 815, general assistance, there is no change. Council discussion. Seeing none, down to the public.
Just a reminder, everything spent out of this is reimbursed at 70%.
For those of you that did not hear, we get reimbursed 70% out of anything in this department. Seeing none, moving on. Department 816, Public Health and Welfare, total decrease of $1,000. Council discussion. Seeing none, down to the public. Seeing none. Department 902 Cemetery, total increase to this department of $1,233. Council discussion. Seeing none, down to the public. Seeing none, moving on. Department 1002 Recreation. There is 2 pages to this one as well. Total increase is $10,616. Total change or different changes. There's a director line that's new for $36,400. Increase to part-time of 5,000, decrease of 9,000 to electricity, water, sewer. Same reasons as before. Increase to the youth program line of 3,000, decrease to the East Mill contract of $39,803. Increase to Medicare taxes and Social Security of $3,371. And that's the big changes. The, again, total increase is $10,616. Council discussion. Seeing none, down to the public. Seeing none. Moving on. 1009 Snow Sled ATV program. This is flat across the board again. There was a discussion about potentially increasing this. I will open it up to the council. Seeing none. Down to the public.
I will add that all but the local match line are pass-throughs. So they are grant money received from the state and then dispersed to the clubs.
Your request was for potentially a $5,000 increase. Am I not mistaken?
To the local match, yes.
Yep. Down to the public. Seeing none. Yes,
That's a
absolutely.
quick question. So do we pay this like at the end of the budget year? Because there's nothing paid year to date on the local match. How does that work?
We haven't dispersed that yet because we haven't received the funding from the state yet.
Gotcha.
When we receive that, then both get
They
paid
go
out
both, okay.
to the clubs.
So it's like a lump sum.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other councilor comments? I will make a motion to add $5,000 to line 3649 local match.
Second it.
Thank you, Councilor Pelletier. Council discussion. Reason I did it is for discussion on the matter. I know we talked about this last time. I think ATVing, as Councilor Raymond had pointed out, me, I'm personally a snowmobile guy, but I do ATV a little bit. I think it draws a lot of people to this area, a lot of tourism. Again, I wish there was a study that could have helped me back the data for the increase that I had planned to make tonight. But considering that I work for the public and I see it every day, I know just how well it's impacted the businesses that I work in. And I think $5,000 is little compared to what it takes to maintain these trails and bring these people up here. So that is the reason why I've proposed a $5,000 increase. I'm curious to hear other counselors' positions on it. Councilor Pelletier.
Well, I think what little money we give for the overall amount there, and what's happening with fuel costs, they're really gonna need anything you can get from us.
Couldn't agree more. Other counselors. Yes.
What are you doing? You clean the truck?
I want to thank you for the increase, coming from the club. I won't vote on this because it, me, it's kind of
Conflict,
a
yeah.
conflict. But, yes, it is getting harder and harder all the time to keep things moving forward with the expenses cost. And just so you know, between snowmobile and an ATV in the States, a $1.4 billion industry. So,
I'm positive that a lot of it comes up this way and further north. Again, see it all the time, and you can see the snowmobile trailers, maybe not in the last 2 years, but in prior years for snowmobiling, I couldn't stop getting snowmobilers at my businesses, and ATVing has just increased because of the lack of snow, and I see more ATVs. I've seen more in the last week than I've seen in forever, and the trails aren't even open yet. I've even contemplated going and buying a new four-wheeler instead of a snowmobile. If we have another bad snow season like we did this year, then I will not be buying one at all. But I couldn't agree more. I think it draws too much tourism not to be appreciated. Any other counselor comments? Yes.
I, not that I don't support it, but I'd like to see us maybe find that money somewhere else in the budget. I don't want to keep adding money to a budget that's already up quite a bit. I mean, can we find? That's my hesitation.
I have an opinion about that. I don't agree with the prior increase that we made. I know it's not as much as 5,000, but I think that yes, there is potentially another area in the budget that we could take this from. I have not located it yet, but I will see if I can identify something. I've been told that some people in the room have identified several areas of change, but I haven't heard any yet, but I am open to hearing any recommendations. Any other council discussions?
I can uh, I can think of 2 lines I might be able to adjust to make up for that difference. Probably, economic development and legal. I could probably skim a little from both. We've done really well with our legal budget in the last couple of years, and I think if I took,
Both time.
I think if I, I think I can skim half from each, if need be.
Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, if we can do that,
I mean,
then I'm in favor of it. But
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, the local match is directly related to economic development in our area because the snowmobile and ATV clubs, maintain the great trails, and they bring a lot of people here that then come into town and go to the businesses and buy their gas and eat at the restaurants, that sort of thing. So, I can, I think it's justifiable to use some of the economic development funds to move into that line.
Any other counselor comments? Seeing none, down to the public. Seeing none, all those in favor of an increase to line 3649 local match of $5,000. All those against? All those opposed? It passes. Thank you. Yeah, abstaining, sorry. All right, any other comments on Department 1009? Making notes for next meeting, sorry. Moving on, expense department 1101 airport operations. Again, oh, nope, this one only has one. There is a total increase of $7,999.00. Some major changes. There was a decrease of electricity, water, sewer of negative 4,100. Equipment repairs increase of 3,000. Hospital insurance increase of 2,855. And airport insurance increase of 2,000. Council comments. Seeing none, down to the public. Seeing none. Department 1102 airport business, there's a decrease of $700 to this department. Councilor comments. Seeing none, down to the public. Seeing none. Moving on, Department 1106 holiday and observation. 4th of July, there is an increase of $3,000, which accounts for the entire increase for this department. If I'm not mistaken, Mr. Malcolm, correct me if I'm wrong, this partially has to do with a change in the contract services for the new people that we have. And they're the only ones in the entire state that do it. That was a question that came up for those of you that were not at the last meeting, was if we could shop around to other people, and the answer was no.
Yeah, one company, one show, copy paste.
Yep. Okay. Council discussion. Seeing none, down to the public. Seeing none. Moving on, Department 1201, county tax. I cannot control this one, and here can you. Increase of $104,472. Council discussion. All right. What's up, Council?
I just wanted to point out to Mrs. Sullivan that this right here is actually the largest increase in the budget, which is up 20% over last year and 41% over the last 3 years.
Any other councilor discussion? Down to the public. Seeing none, moving on to Department 1300 capital improvements. There is a decrease of $105,000 to the capital improvements department. Council discussion.
And as I mentioned earlier, the actual quotes for the three recommended items totaling the 37,000 are the following 3 pages.
Thank you.
Oh.
Down to the public. All right, moving on to the quotes. First one is from Pelletier Manufacturing. This is for the truck for sandblasting repaint of the cab. Total for this is $9,188.80, which I believe is less than what you had originally proposed to the council, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so in the budget, that's reflected as $10,000. Usually within the capital stuff, there's some fluctuation when it comes to the actual work that's done.
Oh, yeah, I see it now. This is just an estimate.
And then we
Mhm.
usually have a contingency in there as well to make up for some difference, unexpected things, shipping things, It's never a solid answer, but we tend to round it up a little bit.
Council discussion. Seeing none, down to the public. Seeing none, moving on. This one is for,
This is the painting, staining, sealing of the pool house.
Yep.
Over at the pool, of course. And you can see the prices down at the bottom. He broke it out into 2 sections there.
$9,235 for metal gate and wood. And
Yeah.
then something seal, prime and paint for 3,800.
Cement block.
Cement blocks.
Yeah, so if you go over there, you see a lot of the calcium and different stuff starting to leak out and crumble away from the structure itself. So to get that, taken care of and sealed up so it doesn't fall apart on us.
Total for this was $13,035. proposed was 14,000, hopefully. It's right around 13,000 mark. Counselor comments? Seeing none, done with public? Seeing none, moving on. This is for the bathroom at the rec department. The hut. It total is $2,925. Council discussion. Seeing none, down to public. Seeing none, before we move on to the revenues, is there any discussion on the other items that were requested for capital improvement before we move into revenues? The other items would have been the grinder, the new vehicle for public works for the cemetery, and the hot box for the back of the truck for asphalt. Was there anything else I missed in that? Was there
The trash trailer.
trash trailer?
Those aren't included here.
No, I'm asking if there's any opinion from the council and if they wanted to get a quote on anything, find out if anyone had any interest in those items now that we've got new information from the Public Works Director, or if we want to continue with just the 3 items that we have proposed in this budget. I will open up with council. Yeah.
I just had one question on the stump grinder. Would it be more cost effective to contract that out to a tree service? One less piece of equipment. I just looking to save cost anyway, that. But
long term, would be something like that, probably last years.
For those of you on Zoom, Public Works Director responded with it would be cheaper to do it in-house over the piece of equipment would last about 20 years. Yes.
I can tell you that stump grinding isn't cheap anymore. We have to do it at our facility quite a bit, but I would like to see some quotes on these.
Is anyone else interested in possibly getting an idea of stump grinder? I'm interested just to see approximately how much one will cost.
Right.
Could you get that to us and email it to us?
Yeah. Give it a shot.
Yes.
I think we do also need to get a quote for the asphalt.
Megan, your
The hot box.
mic is
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your mic's in.
You gotta hold it.
Yeah. Well,
No.
pack-
A box. We need a quote for the hot box.
Yeah.
I think that will help with the road repairs and make our roads last a little bit longer for those that we can't get to and fully pave capital.
Especially with the amount of potholes we've seen lately. The hot box is gonna be pretty hot all the time.
Agreed. Just such a
Right.
brutal.
Yeah.
I do have those quotes. And I can.
Do you want us to do revenues and while you find it or?
Yep, I'm gonna have to run downstairs, but I can do that.
Sure.
It would.
We'll work on revenues. If there's a question for Mr. Manager while he is gone, we will.
Look at it, Bev.
Yes,
I'm a little right now.
sure.
Sandy Sullivan, 104 Sunset. These last things, fixing the truck and the over at the pool area. Are these that you're gonna vote on, or are these that have already been put into the budget, or?
These are already in the budget,
Yeah.
correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Those 3 are.
These items are in the budget,
Yes.
okay, and the other thing, the last meeting. There was a lot of discussion about pavement and adding things onto the paving budget. And it showed, Peter had showed damage to the road in the cemetery.
Mhm.
Is that fixing especially the damages done in the cemetery, has that been added onto this budget also? That's included in here?
It is included in this.
Thank you.
For those on Zoom, the answer was yes, that is included in the current budget. All right, moving on to revenues, Department 101 General Government, increase of $246,871. Major increases and decreases, decrease of -$40,000. The sale of property, increase of $190,696. For state of Maine revenue sharing, manager talked about that last meeting about how that increased. Increase of $20,500 to Betty State reimbursement and transfer fund balance of $75,000, which we discussed. Any council discussion? Yes,
Is the better reimbursement still on the mill site?
I'm referring to,
Well, I know that we're getting a better reimbursement. The mill, they're running and everything with both East Millinocket, Millinocket, we get better, and Betty, both better, and Betty reimbursement. I just wondered, what is that from in the cost?
so that's equipment, it's equipment tax, right?
Yeah, quick credit from the state, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't want to say it's all from the mill site. I'm not 100% certain. I don't feel like there's been any major changes to the mill site up until this point. We will be having a discussion about that soon. I would like to get a meeting with us with our Catan to get an update as a council. Maybe if I can get it in public, that'd be fantastic too. Hopefully within the next month or two. I wanted to get through budget season before I invited our Catan to meet with us.
Okay.
So, but that would be a good discussion to have then and see where they stand at the mill site. Any other councilor comments? Down to the public? Good afternoon, sir.
11 Congress Street. I was just wondering, how much property does the town own where they've torn the houses down and that? Do we have many properties that have been sold, or how much like I said, I know up to Aroostook Avenue, there's a property there that's, I don't know if it's for sale or not, but I know nobody's owned it.
I know we have a couple of properties that we're talking to the realtor about. One we had discussed is a very small piece of property, but we still wanted to see what the realtor had to say. So there is a couple of pieces of property. I want to say it's 3, but don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
When the manager comes back up, I will ask him. But I do know we are asking realtors about.
I'm just curious,
Yeah.
We do have an offer for one. It's an abutting neighbor. We decided that we wanted to get a second opinion on it though. But we are actively looking at selling some of those properties that we have rehabilitated.
Yep, thank you.
Absolutely. Any other public comment? Yes.
Are there any foreclosures looking at, or, in the very near future?
So
So many months and.
they kind of changed the foreclosure laws in the state of Maine. So how it works now is, correct me if I'm wrong. But if we foreclose on a property, it's no longer the old process that we had. We have to go to a realtor. Anything we get, we have to give a huge portion of it back. We keep whatever we spent, for, taxes, rehabilitation, listing it, agency fees, all of that. But we don't get nearly as much as what we used to. There's almost no profit in it. I spoke with another selectman in another town who's actually losing money on a foreclosure that he got through his town. So it's not very profitable, especially if the property is extremely run down and you have to spend a lot of money to remediate it. Asbestos is obviously a big thing in the area, so it's not nearly as profitable as like it was.
Is it still around like 33 months? They haven't paid the taxes? Is that when they get turned over?
The foreclosure timeline hasn't changed,
Okay,
right? However, the process after the fact is
Okay.
a lot longer and a little more in-depth and detailed.
okay.
It's a lot more tedious.
And I am most certain that the majority of the money, if not all of it, will go to the prior owner if there was a sale.
Yeah, there was anything left.
Right, if you make above and beyond what's owed to the town, you have to return it to
And or the state. Council Pelletier.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but we kind of changed our process in dealing with properties like that. We tend to try to get them to sign it over as a sale to us for the back taxes. And that way we own it and we don't have to go through that.
I think we've done that with the properties that we've torn down, and one in particular that we're working on Penobscot.
Yeah.
I don't know about that with foreclosure properties. But the ones that you're referring to are the ones that we're working on.
Well,
Yeah,
I would
dilapidated.
suggest we use it for all properties we want to get a hold of.
That chair was speaking on, I don't think that is.
Yeah, it's a state of Maine. That's nothing we control. The process that you're referring to is for properties that we use legal services to go after for violating code or life and safety. For example, the old laundromat on a Rustic that was torn down. Those ones are in a much different situation than foreclosure. In a lot of cases, they're completely abandoned. Like I said, I know of one on Penobscot that we've all been informed on. If you haven't, I apologize. We can meet on it. That the manager is going after to get them to do exactly what you
Right.
said, and they are actively participating. But it is not the same as foreclosure.
And what happens to the condemned houses?
That's what we're referring to as
Okay.
condemned property. So
Okay,
the laundromat, there was one on Medway Road, the old green house that had no windows. And there was one other property that escapes my mind, that we've done those two. And that's the process that we're referring to, where we go after them, they sign over a bill of sale to us, and we rehabilitate the property, and we are listing the land for potential resale. Yes.
So to answer John's question, it's all driven by your tax commitment date. So you can file a lien 8 to 12 months. It has to be done in that period after your commitment date. Once a lien is filed, you have 18 months and then it's automatic foreclosure. Unless the council would waive a foreclosure for some reason you don't want a property.
Yes.
A lot of these foreclosures, going through that process, we'd hand it over to a realtor, and what they get out of it wouldn't even cover the realtor's costs.
Again, we don't really make any money on it, and if there is money made on it, we don't even get it. It either goes to the state or it goes to the person that owned the property before. It's not like it used to be.
right, but the idea is to get it back on the tax roll,
Correct, yeah,
if it's usable.
Well,
correct.
most of it being
I know.
empty lot.
Mr. Manager, there was a question in regards to the dilapidated properties that we have rehabilitated. Do we currently own 3 properties that we are potentially looking to list? I know we had the Medway Road, there's the old laundromat,
Yes.
dry cleaner.
Yep, Rustic Avenue, Medway Road. Jim's Dry Cleaning. There's a 4th one.
There is 4. How long before,
I don't remember what it is.
how long before some of those are listed? I know we've talked about,
Say that again.
how long before they're listed? I know
Um,
we've talked about one having a potential offer that we've asked for more information on, but
Yep, so one order will be on the agenda for the 23rd, to sell that property. One of those properties will go out to bid in the next couple of weeks, the one on Medway Road. Jim's will be listed as soon as it gets cleared from the EPA. We're waiting on final approval on that. I can't think of the 4th one.
I can get you
We've
the
demoed and cleaned 4 properties. I can't remember what the other.
So there, it sounds like there's 4. Does that answer your question? And by the sounds of it, we've already started selling them. I will get you that 4th property next.
Well, that's all right.
I know none of us.
No, absolutely. And we've made significant progress and we continue to do it still.
Thank you.
Any other council or public discussion on Department 101? Seeing none. Moving on, Department 104, Town Clerk's Department, decrease of $1,850. Council discussion. Seeing none, down to the public.
Losing money, huh?
Seeing none, moving on. 107 assessing. Assessing increase of $47,925. Major increase here is the homestead exemption of $50,404. Council discussion. Seeing none, down to the public. Seeing none, moving on. Department 108 municipal building, there is no change. Council discussion. Seeing none, down to the public. Seeing none, moving on. Department 114 planning co-development, increase of $7,625. Biggest increase is the cannabis tax permit that we did last year for $6,000. If I'm not mistaken, we have all but one license built. So, council discussion. Seeing none, down to the public. Seeing none, moving on. 115 economic development, $4,185, all stemming from GNP economic development loan payment. Council discussion. Seeing none, down to the public. Seeing none, moving on. 203 fire department, increase of $200. Council discussion. Seeing none, down to the public. Seeing none, moving on. 204 ambulance, decrease of $56,400. Negative 50,000 ambulance billing, negative 7,500 to Penobscot ambulance stipend. Yes.
How much of that is uncollectible billing?
That's not reflected in this budget line. That would be an expense, and it wouldn't be identified necessarily in the budget, as we wouldn't know what it is.
That's your question, Mr. Pelletier.
Nowhere to look.
Any other council discussion? Seeing none, down to the public. Seeing none, moving on. 206 community service, increase of 2,300. It's the EV charger payments. Council discussion. Seeing none, down to the public. Seeing none. Department 300 fringe benefits, increase of 200. Council discussion. Seeing none, down to the public. Seeing none, moving on forward to Public Works Administration, increase of $2,125. And that's stemming from the reimbursement from for the electric truck. Council discussion. Seeing none, down to the public. Seeing none, moving on. 407 Public Works Roads and Constructions, increase of 30,000. Council discussion. Down to the public. Seeing none, moving on. 409 transfer site, increase of $1,359. Most of it's coming from county agreement. I will add the manager in the last meeting. It said that he is making some changes potentially to the transfer site in the year to come that might heavily impact this department in a positive manner. Again, can't wait to see those changes based off our discussion that we had in our last meeting. Council discussion. Seeing none, down to the phone. Seeing none. 815 general assistance, decrease of $1,995, most of it stemming from other GA assistance. Council discussion. Seeing none, down to the public. Seeing none. 902 cemetery, increase of 1,500. Council discussion. Seeing none, down to the public. Seeing none. 1009 snow sled and ATV program, negative $600 is the change. And that is stemming from snow grant. Council discussion.
That's actually a decrease in the revenue from registrations.
Registrations.
Many of those things through the clerk's office are now available online and we don't get the agent fees for processing them in person.
Why you saw the decrease in our more people 104.
All the automation.
Council.
To offer the online services, but it also reflects in our budget.
No, that's the state, correct?
That is the state, yes.
Yep, the state, okay. Any other council discussion? Seeing none, down to the public. Seeing none, moving on. 1102 airport business. Decrease of negative $13,800. Negative 5,000 to aviation fuel sales. And negative 8,000 to jet fuel sales. I'd be surprised if that's going to be. Council discussion. Seeing none, down to the public. Jeff, if you could get $8,000 in coffee sales, I'd be pretty happy with you.
You know, if more people went there in the morning instead of Dunkin', I don't know, we
Yeah.
I was gonna say a drive-through, but
Machine. Fly through.
a fly-through, yeah. Go ahead, Jeff.
Jeff Campbell, Airport Manager. Part of the reason for the decrease in the expected revenues is to try to keep this within a realistic level because. Sorry, I had to make it much shorter. Jeff Campbell, Airport Manager. The reason that we discussed this, making this a little bit more reasonable, is I've got 2 major construction projects going on, which is going to impact airport traffic. Now, the increase in fuel prices may drive the revenue up more than I thought, but at this point, we got 2 major construction projects going on over the next 2 years, so it's going to impact air traffic.
I appreciate you being realistic with the idea of those 2 projects in mind, and I can't wait to see them be completed.
We've got a start date on the taxiway extension of May 18th.
Nice. Get some new hangers in there.
New hangers would be fantastic.
Oh.
We got more good news.
And thank you very much for the door approval. The wheels are in motion on that. I'm hoping to have that installed. My goal is by the 4th of July.
Awesome, thank you.
Very efficient, Jeff. Thank you.
Councilor Pelletier. You've had your hand raised before Jeff came up. I don't know if you had anything.
Well, care of it.
Took care of it. Okay. Any other councilors? Down to the public? Seeing that. 1106 holiday and observation and events, increasing 1,000. And that's to the scholarship line. Council discussion. Seeing none, down to the public. Seeing none. 4,500, CDBG, decrease of $249. Council discussion. Down to the public. Seeing none. Department 5,000, capital reserve, increase of 500. Council discussion. Seeing none, down to the public. Seeing none. Department 5,500 trust fund, increase of 200. Council discussion. Down to the public. You're welcome.
Point of clarification, that was a joke.
Ryan, please do not put that in paper.
Yeah.
Before we move on, Mr. Manager, did you find that information that was requested?
Yes. So. Whoop. Do you want them screen share? There's only one that's an actual quote. So the stump grinder quote. From the John Deere place in Holton. This one was in stock at the time
You're not sharing.
You want me to?
Preferred, yes.
I can, yep. We got it? So This is the quote for the stump grinder. This one was in stock in January or February when it was obtained. Not sure if that one's still on the lot or not. And then the other information, unless I just couldn't find it when I went down there, was more outlined in this document here. So it'll show, like if this one at 30,000 is not available, you can see in this section, it's identified that it would be between 32 and 38,000. Hot box paving machine at 55,000. I didn't find an actual quote, but I believe one exists. Do you have an actual quote? Okay, that one, that quote came as an email statement from the vendor.
Would any counselors like to make a motion or have any comments? Questions, concerns, anything at this point related to the stump grinder or hot box paving machine?
I mean, in a perfect world,
Yeah, that's what I said
we
last time.
we would get them, but I just can't.
That would be a sizable increase on
Yeah,
an
I
already
just can't
increased
justify it.
tax raise.
Not right now. Maybe next year.
Counselor comments? Anyone else? I'm in the same boat. I completely agree.
Yeah, it's a big bite.
All right. Anyone from the public have any comments? Seeing none, I will seek a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Hold on,
Oh, sorry.
don't vote on it.
Can we reject the second and
Sure.
redact?
So to answer Sandy's question on employment practices, have an answer.
Oh, thank you. I don't have to get you an answer next time now.
Okay, employment practices liability insurance, EPLI in Maine is designed to protect employers from claims made by employees regarding wrongful acts in the workplace such as discrimination, harassment, and wrongful termination.
Like bonding for us.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't answer that. What I thought it was related to like fire and EMS. If there was a liability claim that came against one of our employees, I thought that's what that was, but I'm happy to hear that we got the correct answer on that one.
So it typically covers legal cost settlements and judgments arising from employment-related claims, including those made by current, former, and prospective employees. It is crucial for employees, especially those with employees, as it helps mitigate financial risks associated with lawsuits and protects the employer's reputation.
Did that answer your question, Ms. Sullivan?
Important coverage.
Thank you for looking that up. I'm glad I did not answer that at that time. All right, I am going to again seek a motion to adjourn. Second. All right, perfect. Seconded by Councilor Gould. All those in favor? It's unanimous. Good night, everyone.
Favorite?